Suppose a firm used $50,000 worth of peanuts and $1,000 worth of salt to produce some peanut butter. And this required costs of $10,000 worth of labor, $8,000 to run a factory, and pay for maintenance. And let's suppose that all the peanut butter that was produced had a market value of $75,000. So it generated $75,000 worth of revenue. Now the question is, what was the peanut butter producing firm's value added from all of this peanut butter production? Okay, so let's think about this for a second, because some of this information is actually extraneous that you don't need, right? So remember that value added, the definition of what value added is, it's basically the value of final goods that are produced minus the value of the intermediate goods, or the cost of the intermediate goods used to produce those final goods, right? So in this problem, the final good is obviously the peanut butter, right? And so we now need to figure out, okay, well, if the final goods is peanut butter, what were the intermediate goods used to produce that peanut butter? Well, the intermediate goods were the salt and the peanuts, right? The cost of the labor and the cost to rent out the factory and maintain the factory, those aren't intermediate goods, right? Those aren't things that you use to turn into something else, right? You're taking salt, and you're taking peanuts, and you're turning them into peanut butter, right? Using the labor and the factory, but that's the difference between an input and a factor of production, right? So a factor of production is the labor in the factory, whereas the inputs or the intermediate goods are the salt and the peanuts, okay? All right, so using this information now, right, all we need to do is figure out what is the value the value of the final goods, subtract off the value of the cost of the intermediate goods. And so remember, the value of the final goods was just the value of the peanut butter, which was $75,000. And then we want to subtract off the cost of the intermediate goods. And again, we said that the intermediate goods were the salt and the peanuts. So remember, the peanuts cost $50,000 and the salt cost $1,000. So that means that the total cost for the intermediate goods used to produce the peanut butter were $51,000. So we subtract the $51,000 from the $75,000 worth of revenue generated by the peanut butter. And so we see that the value added here is $24,000 from the peanut butter production.